Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome back to another DCO Live, guys. I appreciate you all jumping on here tonight. It looks like we got several guys on here. I need to scroll back up here. I know Brian's on, Small Craft Angler. Good to see you, buddy. Tony, he is heading down here on vacation. It says, hello, Chris, Brian. It's vacation eve for me, heading down at 5 a.m. in the morning. Nice. That is awesome. I hope you have a good weekend down here, man. See, Heath, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Russell, anybody else? S.J. Workman is in the house. How you doing? Been a while since I have seen and talked to you, so hope you're doing well. Wire for Crappie, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you too. Yeah, so a couple of things I wanted to kind of chat about tonight. One is as much as I almost hate to say it for Tony, but Saturday is looking pretty bad as far as the weather goes. They're calling for a lot of rain on Saturday, but it kind of is what it is. Hopefully, that doesn't spoil your vacation plans down here, but Sunday, I think, is going to be halfway decent. So we'll just kind of check that out and see. But one of the things I wanted to kind of ask you guys is, hey, Everett and Gunner just jumped on. How you doing, guys? One thing that I want to kind of let me see here. One of the things that I wanted to kind of ask you guys tonight was, and it kind of is spurred off of the weekend weather and as how bad it's going to be, is what do you guys do when you can't get out on the water? I mean, when the weather is this, I mean, they're calling for 80%, chance of rain on Saturday, and the winds are going to be like 15 to 20 miles an hour, and then, Sunday isn't going to be the best. And so, so what do you guys do? Throw it up into the chat box. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing the things that honestly I should be doing more often than what I'm going to be doing it now. And one is going to be maintaining my reels. I'm going to be taking these things apart, putting just a few little drops of oil in it, and cleaning things up. I mean, look how nasty the handle is, man. I mean, just kind of cleaning these things up. I hose them down. I just kind of run some water over them when I get back after fishing. But, as far as doing like a maintenance on reels, I am horrible at breaking these things down and getting some oil in them. The roller on the bail needs to be oiled. The shaft inside the spinning, the spool there. It's just, I'm horrible at this. But SJ Workman said he's going to be watching some football. Yeah, without a doubt. Saturday college football. Sunday, my Cowboys play. So don't beat me up too much in the comments. I know that we're not doing too good, and we're not going to be that good. But you know what? You live and die by your team. So Wide for Crappie said, staying in Tennessee and crappie fishing. Hey, yeah, I may be coming up to see you. So, but see, Russell, crappie fishing. Nice, man. Awesome. Yeah, so it sounds like, the crappie are really starting to hit up there, up in Tennessee. So that's awesome. I would love to see some of the fish that you're catching. So, shoot me a message and drop me a couple of pics so I can see what you're catching up there. I'd love to see it. Tony said, trip to Bass Pro. Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt, man. I don't know if I'm allowed back into Bass Pro for a little while. I think I broke a budget. So we try to work down the honeydew list. Yeah, Heath, I feel you there, man. I've got a couple of things. I actually kind of finished up my honeydew list last weekend, thinking that I was going to fish this weekend. And then once I started to see how bad the weather was going to be, I was like, well, maybe I should have probably have saved those. But, my kids are going to come over Saturday and Sunday. Jackson and Bree are going to probably come over. I think we're going to go to downtown Conway. Excuse me. because they have all of their Halloween decorations out. Lefty and I, we went down at the end of September, and I don't think all the decorations were up quite yet, but we're going to go back down with the family. We're going to do that. And then Carter is going to be in town. He's got like a 4-day little, I don't know if you want to call it a vacation, but he's going to be down for a few days from Fort Bragg. So that'll be good to catch up with him. And then on Sunday, we're going to grill out and watch the football game. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of see what you guys do, because, sitting in the house, I'm going to be editing some video. I'm going to be getting out a video probably Sunday or Monday, and it's going to be the Battle at Paradise video. So the tournament that was down there. And, that was a great tournament. Heath, you were down there and did well. Heath got I think it was a 20-inch redfish on top water first thing in the morning. When we went out, when we started, it was pretty much high tide, and we fished the entire outgoing tide and just a little bit of the incoming tide right at the end. And you guys are already, kind of jumping ahead of me. But the Battle of Paradise tournament was with the Low Country Kayak Anglers, and they put it on, and it helps support the Heroes on the Water. And I know you guys know about Heroes on the Water, but if you don't, it's basically a kayak group, I guess, that helps support first responders, veterans, and they take them out kayak fishing. And if you are a veteran or a first responder and you want to go kayak fishing, but you don't have any of the equipment, you don't have a kayak, you don't have it, they set you all up. They've got a trailer full of kayaks and volunteers that'll take you out, like Heath, and take you out and get you guys out on some fish. I've done it a couple of different times. I need to do it more. It just seems like scheduling, nothing really lines up for me, and I don't know why. But I think you guys have an event coming up. Heath, you're going to have to jump into the comment section and let me know when the next event is. But do you guys have one coming up in Merle's Inlet? I think you do. So, since that's kind of right in my backyard, I'm going to try to, get out to that one. So, so it was a slam tournament. October 18th, Merle's Inlet is the next Heroes on the Water. So, if you guys want to go, I think you have to get signed up through Eventbrite and get signed up. So yeah, definitely do it. Let's get some guys out there. So, but getting back to the Battle at Paradise, it was a slam tournament. So we needed to catch a flounder, trout, and a redfish. And so really there were 4 categories to this tournament. They weren't paying out like first, second, and third place. They were paying out biggest flounder, biggest redfish, biggest trout. And then the combined total of the 3 got the championship of the slam. And so here is, let me see if I can get the picture up there. Okay, so there's the picture. So I ended up getting the biggest flounder. And, I almost hate to say it because Tyler Norris, he caught a 19 and a quarter inch flounder. And then I think he said he checked the leaderboard like 10 minutes later, and I posted a 19.75. So I beat him by a half an inch like 10 minutes later. And he said he wanted that trophy or that piece of artwork so bad. And I can't say that I felt bad about winning that one. It's really cool. I actually got it hanging up right there on the wall right now. I would show you guys, but I don't want to, jiggle the camera and stuff, but really cool. Bob Clausen, he won the overall slam tournament. That's what the big square trophy is here. And then he's holding up biggest redfish. So he got a 33-inch redfish. And he was fishing in an area that I usually don't fish. And so good on him for a 33. That was awesome. And then the gentleman on the left, that is Michael Lee, and he caught biggest trout. And the biggest trout caught was like 16 and a half. So, there were a lot of trout caught. Everybody that was coming in talking were catching a lot of trout, but just not a lot of size. It was a little bit surprising that it was only 16 and a half. We were thinking probably, a 20-inch trout would probably take it. But yeah, so congratulations to everybody. This is the actual flounder that I caught. That's the 1975. That's the one that I submitted right there. So yeah, it was a great fish. I caught him at about 1:15 in the afternoon, and the tournament ended. Lines out were at 2:30. And a matter of fact, I was just I fished docks all day long, and I was just kind of working my way back to the landing, and I was just kind of pedaling and just kind of picking apart the bank in between the docks. The water was low enough where I just laid my rods down and I could just go right underneath the docks and just make almost like a straight line and just fish in the bank. And he hit it. And matter of fact, as I reviewed the video, because this video is going to be coming out, like I said, Sunday, maybe Monday. I dropped a few choice words, which I had to beep out. I usually, I never cuss in my videos, but when he came up to the surface and I saw the size of this flounder, I was like, holy. And I let out a couple of choice words and I was like, oh man, stay on the line. And I ended up netting him and I was like, oh. So, and I was hoping that it was going to, put me up towards the top. So, but yeah, when you guys see that on Sunday, it's actually my intro is catching that fish. So just a little bit of a spoiler there, and you'll hear the the beeps going on. So, but yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun, guys. I appreciate all the congratulations. Gary W said, did you get a weight on your flounder? No, I did not get a weight. I don't carry anything with me to get a weight. And I am horrible at, like estimating weights. I just can't do it. If somebody hands me something that says, hey, what does this weigh? I couldn't tell you, so, but I don't know, 4 pounds. I couldn't even tell you. No idea. So I probably need to start carrying some kind of a scale on my kayak to get a weight on some of these fish. But, he was definitely thick. I mean, you can see the size of my hand laying on that fish. And it was, it was a hefty fish. It was nice and wide and thick. It would have made some really nice sandwiches, I tell you. But he actually, once I took the picture, I went to pick him up and hold him up in front of the camera like I usually do, and flopped right out of my hands and flopped right into the water. And there was a gentleman standing on the dock behind me, and he was like, oh no. And I was like, no, it's all good. I got my picture. I'm in a tournament. I said, it's all good. He was going to be released anyway. And he was like, oh, that was heartbreaking seeing him get back into the water. And I was like, no, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I didn't even know it, but I guess he watched me fight that fish because I had my back to that dock the whole time. So yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. So Gary said, hang on, let me pop that back up there. He said, I caught a 19.5-inch flounder Monday that weighed 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Sweet, man. That's awesome. So yeah, so that 4-pound estimate that I just threw out there, hey man, I was in the ballpark at least. Okay. So, but yeah, congrats, man. 19.5. That's awesome. That is really awesome. So kind of moving on a little bit, I'm going to have to check my notes. So there is, did I just, there we go. So I was surfing around YouTube, and I usually don't report on things like this, but there was another gentleman caught cheating in a fishing tournament, and I don't like I said, I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff on DCO Live or my channel, or videos or anything like that, or the radio show. I usually don't. It gets enough press, and I usually don't talk about them, but I watched a couple of videos on it, and one of the good videos that I saw that really breaks it down, his name is, and I know I'm going to butcher his last name, Jeff Malott, Malott. He broke it down as about a 5-minute video. So if you guys want to go watch that, search him. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the picture. Now, if you guys have seen this, I would rather you have not comment. But if you haven't seen the picture, I want you guys to comment and tell me what's wrong in the picture. Okay. I'll give it a couple of seconds. There it is. So this is the picture. So kind of look at it and tell me what you think is wrong with the picture. Give you a couple of minutes, take a look at it. Because when I saw it, I couldn't pick it out. So it's one of these things that, luckily the tournament directors picked it right up, and we'll actually go into how they did that. So Russell says it's cropped. Pretty close. It's a photoshopped fish. So this gentleman, yes, Daniel, fake, absolutely. Daniel, you're probably all over this. Daniel runs the Port City Kayakers up there in Wilmington. And so you probably already know this story, and you can probably help me out with some of the details. But the gentleman that posted this fish, and this was in Lake Fork, Texas, that is not even a fish that he caught. He photoshopped and shrunk this fish down and put it on this board. And he submitted it to Fish Chaos, or Fishing Chaos was the app that they were using. No, I'm sorry. It was TourneyX, I believe. It was TourneyX. And the director on TourneyX pretty much knew that this was a photoshopped fish, and ended up DQing this individual. And, I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know if charges are going to be brought up. But that's a photoshopped fish that he did. And when I first saw it, I didn't see it. It's a pretty good Photoshop on that. Daniel said, I hadn't seen the picture before. I hadn't heard the story. I could just notice that there's a shadow under the hand. Okay. So that's really good eye there. I never even picked that out. So yeah. So there is another video if you guys are interested in the Fishing Chaos app. So Chad Hoover with KBF, Kayak Bass Fishing, he put out a video kind of explaining how all of the parameters that Fishing Chaos app uses to see if the fish that you caught and submitted is accurate. And he didn't go into all the parameters, but he went into a few things on how the computer can pick out things that are not correct. So again, this is way above me. This is, software stuff that these guys, when they put these apps together, do. But it's about how Fishing Chaos knows that if it's a screenshot, and it will actually flag it. It knows if it's photoshopped. It knows if you change the location of where you caught that fish, because there have been cheaters that have caught a fish in, let's just say, I'm going to use our local area. I'm going to say down in Charleston, but then they can change the location of the picture to Murrells Inlet and then submit it to Murrells Inlet. Well, there is some kind of a code with that picture that your camera knows or has marked that picture where it was taken originally. So, and Fishing Chaos can pick up on that, flag it, saying the location has been changed. So there's a lot of things happening with these software systems where the director doesn't have to, go in and try to determine, oh yeah, there's a shadow under the hand, like Daniel was saying. It'll flag it, and it'll go through all of these parameters and, and kick it out, which I thought was really cool. So, Heath just said, there is a good bit of software out there now to determine if something is AI generated or Photoshopped. Yeah, without a doubt, there is. And matter of fact, Chad Hoover touches on that very briefly about how Fishing Chaos is using AI to stay ahead of the AI generated pictures. So yeah, so go over there and check that out. So Jeff Malott, if you guys are interested in seeing this story, and Chad Hoover, if you're interested in kind of the workings of the Fishing Chaos app, that I know all of the tournaments that low country kayak anglers use, it's all through Fish Chaos. So which is a fan. I've used them both. I've used Tourney X before in some bass tournaments that I've been in, and Fishing Chaos. So two great platforms. No real issue with either one of them. Excuse me. So again, just another story that I usually don't touch on, but there are guys that they want the little plastic trophy, and they want to try to, take money, and everybody is trying to find some kind of a shortcut. And that's what these guys are doing. And it's just not right. I don't understand why people do it. It's supposed to be fun. It's a tournament, and you got guys doing this, which just casts a shadow on everything else. It casts a shadow on, the photo catch release tournaments. People start looking down on them and start saying how, you can fake the pictures. And, Chad Hoover said that during the KBF tournaments now, after you submit your fish and take your photo, you actually have to take a video of you releasing that fish. So now there is not only a video, but that timestamp and location of the video will match the photo you just took and submitted. So that's how KBF is working around, these guys who are trying to find these loopholes in, changing locations of fish pictures. So it was very interesting. So, jump over there if you guys are interested and check that stuff out. So yeah, so that's kind of, we're starting to kind of run down to the end of the little half-hour segment here. So, again, if you guys have any questions, throw them up in there, and we can talk about the weekend weather. I had it pulled up on my phone and it wasn't looking man. Let me pull it back up here. I want to say Saturday. So Saturday right now, I'm looking at 80% chance of rain, cloudy showers, windy, cool, and then only a 40% chance on Sunday. And then again, still kind of windy. So, hopefully it kind of blows out of here on Sunday. and you guys can get out on the water a little bit. Hang on, Daniel hold on. I missed a couple here. I'm going to need to back up. So Wired for Crappie, let me start with you. What would be your favorite month to fish between October, November, December? Got to reschedule my trip. Really, anytime between now and Christmas, I love. I really couldn't pick. If I had to pick, I would say October, November. Just because if you're forcing me to pick, I would probably put it as October, November, December 3rd. So yeah, it's just October and that beginning part of November. The water temperatures are perfect and the redfish are schooling up. Things are just really starting to fire off. So yeah, anytime really between now and Christmas is absolutely awesome. SJ Workman, any new hats coming? I'm working on some designs. I just had a conversation with a gentleman about some hats and some shirts. And yes, but it'll probably be right at the beginning of next year. Now, I do have some stickers that are, I'm going to put my order in next week, and I should have those in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to have some stickers if you guys want to have some stickers. But yes, new hats are coming. I've got a design, I think, nailed down. And again, it's only just going to be a short run of maybe about 30 hats, something like that. So, I may even do just a couple of fishing shirts with some different designs on it that I've got. But yeah, there is stuff coming. I appreciate that. Thank you. Daniel, he threw up something. He said, if anybody's in Wilmington area over the weekend, I'm giving a seminar on Saturday at 12 o'clock, on Sunday at 2:30 during the Wilmington Boat Show. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Where is the boat show, Daniel? Is it downtown? I'm assuming it's right downtown. But yeah, man, jump up there. The weather's going to be bad anyway. So jump up there and see Daniel, tell him hey, and catch that seminar. So Saturday at 12 and Sunday at 2:30. So that's awesome. SJ threw something back up in there. He said, we'll be at Paulie's next week. Any advice on what's hot right now? Man, everything. Again, the redfish and the flounder are if you want to catch flounder, right now is the time for flounder. Flounder are going to start moving and migrating off into deeper water and off into the ocean, probably, that November time frame. So, if you want to target flounder, now is the time to do it before those big females migrate off. So get out there and, slow roll something on the bottom. I caught that 19.5 with a little 3-inch Z-Man minnows in pearl. And he was just right on the bottom, just kind of slow rolling. She took it down, and that's what I got him on. So yeah, absolutely. Daniel said the boat show is downtown at the convention center. Perfect. Gary just threw something in. Gary W. How late into the fall does the flounder bite generally on hand? Yes. So especially in the inlets that you can fish from the shore bridges. So yes, I actually just answered that question before I saw your question. So yeah, so flounder will start to migrate off into the ocean to go spawn in that November timeframe. It's when the water temperatures really start to drop off. I'm not exactly sure when those water temperatures are. I just know in that November timeframe, that's when those big females start to move off. So yeah, so the flounder fishing in October, maybe the beginning of November, is when you're going to really want to target flounder here in South Carolina. Now, you can't do it in North Carolina. The season is closed, but here in South Carolina, you can target flounder and you can keep anything 16 inches and bigger. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question, and good luck to you. So guys, that is the 30 minutes. I don't see any other questions coming up. So I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. Stay dry, watch some football, maintenance up your gear. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got to change out my leader lines. I got my rods right back over here. I'm going to put some fresh leader line on. And Heath, why don't you do the same thing? That's a little bit of a hard joke because he hooked into a big old redfish in a redfish tournament that broke him off, and it's just heartbreaking, man. You know, I gotta give you a little bit of the needle on that one, but change out your leader. So I know I'm going to be doing it. So, because I'm horrible at doing it. Like I said, I need to do it more often. But again, guys, I really do appreciate you. And I will see you guys next week. If you want to catch this week's show on iHeartRadio on the Outdoor Radio Network, I know that the next time that I know I am on is Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I don't know when I come on Fridays yet. I need to try to get a schedule, but I actually caught my show Saturday morning, 7:30. So, you know, if you guys want to jump on iHeartRadio, just scan over to the Outdoor Radio Network. The topic is choosing the right kayak or fishing kayak. So I go over all the characteristics, specifications, how to figure out, you know, length, width, and weight capacity. So, you know, go over there, check that out, or you can give it a listen on Spotify. Just search Dead Calm Outdoors, and, you know, you can catch it there. So again, guys, I appreciate you. I will see you guys next week. And if you got any questions or anything, shoot me a message on Instagram. So guys, appreciate you. Thanks so much.